What is FaceTime? Okay. Now, this is a long story. I'm going to give you a lot of extra details that most other people would never give you. So just bear with me when I talk to you about this. Okay. FaceTime is an app on iPhones. What are iPhones? Well, these are cellular telephone devices that have been invented by the Apple Corporation. Now you say, well, who invented Apple? Good question. Apple was invented by Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs used to work with Bill Gates. Now I know you said, they go, man, this is a lot of details here, but bear with me, this is a lot of information you need to know. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs at one time worked together. But Steve Jobs had a different idea about his company, which became Microsoft, than Steve Jobs did and his company, which became Apple. Bill Gates believed like I believe. I like to service my own stuff. So he made an operating software which would allow us to service our own stuff. Now Steve Jobs, he liked the word proprietary. And what is the word proprietary? Well, in a nutshell, here's how that works. If an Apple product breaks, you can't fix it yourself. Not unless you're an Apple employee. Okay, if you're an Apple employee, of course you can fix it yourself. But if you're not an Apple employee, you cannot fix this yourself. And you can't take it to just any old service shop and have it fixed. Some service shops do fix Apple products. Some do not. You have to take your product to a place that fixes Apple computers. And that's what is meant by proprietary. If you don't take it to some place that services Apple computers, it doesn't get fixed. And that's why I do not like Apple technology. Because when I want to fix something at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to have to drive sometimes hundreds of miles just to get the thing fixed. I want to be able to fix it myself at 2 in the morning. And I can through Microsoft. So, anyway, FaceTime is a video chatting service. Now, if anybody has worked with digital videos, you know that they can range anywhere between megabyte size to gigabyte size. That's a lot of data. Remember, that's a lot of ones and zeros for those of you who are tech savvy. So, normally if you're going to do a video chat, okay, let's say I was going to hook up my webcam and I was going to do a video chat with you, I would have to do it out of my own house. So, I would hook up my webcam, I'd start my video chat, all that data which makes up my video chat would be sent to my internet service provider. Then via satellite it would be sent to your service provider, which would then be sent to your house, and vice versa. Okay, now let's drag AT&T into all this. What does AT&T stand for? It stands for the American Telephone and Telegraph Company. It was founded by Alexander Graham Bell back in 1877. Now, the company that we have today is a little different than what they had back in 1877, because in 1984, AT&T as a monopoly was broke up. AT&T became a monopoly, the government moved in, they said, we're going to break up, and that's what they did. Okay? Yes. The U.S. government can break up monopolies, and that's exactly what they did. They did that with the oil industry years before, and they did that with the telephone company back in '84. All right. Now, let's enter into the picture cell phone towers. I am sure you've seen lots of these all across the United States. And let me tell you something, practically every day a new one pops up. You go to bed one night, you pop up the next day, and you see another cell tower going up. And that's because companies like AT&T, TracFone, T-Mobile, Boost, all these companies are trying to form these cell phone networks across the country. Now, AT&T owns one of the biggest ones of them all. Now, keep in mind that when you're talking about cellular technology, That is all done digitally now. So, zeros and ones are sent out of your cell phone to the cell phone tower, which then is transmitted, sometimes via satellite, sometimes not, just depends, to either another cell phone tower or maybe another satellite. I don't know the exact infrastructure, but eventually it gets sent from a cell phone tower to another cell phone tower, which then eventually gets sent to its to the customer. And that's a lot. Now, imagine thousands and millions of mega and gigabytes being sent to these towers. It can overload a network. Okay? Especially if your network, even as big as it is, isn't big enough to handle all that. So, what does AT&T do? Well, on a normal basis, when you're trying to access the web through your cell phone, they charge you a data rate. And the more you start doing applications on your cell phone, the more they charge you. Now, it didn't used to be that way. They used to have an unlimited data rate and you used to pay a monthly fee for that. But now they've just decided the more you use, the more you pay. Because they have to free up a certain amount of cell tower space for what you're doing. And this holds very true for video conferencing. Okay? If you want to have a video chat on the cellular network, you're going to have to start paying for it. They haven't done that yet, but they're going to. Guarantee. They've already done it for other things. They're going to do it for this too. And you're having to pay a special rate because you're playing Angry Birds on your phone. You're going to pay a much bigger rate when you start doing video conferencing, because all that extra video mega and gigabytes is taking up even more of the functionality of the cell towers. So you're going to be charged more. Guarantee it. But anyway, like I said, FaceTime is a video chat service on your iPhone. Now, when you started doing this on the iPhone, usually you either had to be at home or you could go to a Wi-Fi hotspot, usually a restaurant or a hotel or something like that, and you could do that. Now they're wanting to do this on the cellular network, and that's why AT&T is going, yeah, you wait. Okay? Because you're going to do it on our cell network, you're going to pay for it. And that's what this whole story is all about. Hopefully you feel very much well educated. I hope I was able to tell you a bunch of stuff. If you want to leave comments down below, you go ahead and do so. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.